I walk through the shadow of death left to fear. This is a journey through the halls of hell.
Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Fargo series. This is episode 4 of season 5 and it is called Insolabilia or something, have no idea what that is. Last episode, I thought the last episode was absolutely incredible how they brought all those components to a boiling point. I've been on edge all week waiting for this episode due to how the last one ended. But yeah, we've got Sheriff's son and his gang about to enter Dorothy's booby-trapped house, and she now has a stun gun as well. And because she changed the road signs, I wonder if they're even outside the right house, first of all, and second of all, Werewolf Guy has also entered the house. I don't know if that's just him returning home or he has entered another residence, but yeah, there's a Welsh fucking seemingly werewolf, or at least very werewolf-esque dude in this season, and I think it's great. In general, I've always gravitated towards esoteric shit and like looking into conspiracy theories and cult histories and things like that, and it's not that I believe all of them, but I feel like you've never wasted time looking into a conspiracy theory, because even though 99% of them are bullshit, they're all so genuinely creative that as a writer myself, it like opens my mind, not to steal the ideas from these things I read, but it just broadens my perspective conceptually, I think, looking into stuff like that. Needless to say, I think all 3 episodes of this season so far have been absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait to get into this. So yeah, this is episode 4 in Insolabilia. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. Thank God we are going straight into where we left off last episode. I was worrying they were going to go to something else for a bit. Fargo's good at picking out unique masks and stuff like that as well. I loved the wolf headdress Yuri wore in season 3. If Dorothy's whole plan of changing the street signs worked, then maybe they're actually at the wrong residence. Ah shit, no, it's definitely Dorothy's house. Can't believe they're Sully and the Nightmare Before Christmas characters like this.
And now, because you've all been so sweet, another duet for you.
I'd say right now it seems creepier inside the house than outside the house. Oh great, now we've got the fucking Tiptoe and the Tulips dude singing, cause that's never fucking ominous. You know, I know he's dead, so rest in peace the Tiptoe and the Tulips dude, but I swear his whole thing was like, you know what, I'm just gonna write songs that will unintentionally terrify even adult humans to their very souls. Well, they don't seem like they're that well equipped. They're showing up with a taser and a lock knife. It's not really a prime loadout for this mission.
Well, I don't know.
You know, wherever she is right now, Dorothy's low-key pissed about that oven. I'm not buying that she's in danger here. I just don't believe it. This woman is a walking death machine. I like the whole haunted house setup as well to cause a bit of confusion in that corridor. I was gonna say, it surprises me none of them have triggered any traps already. I thought she had everywhere in this house rigged, I guess not. Shit, damn, well that's kinda one down. It's a shame she couldn't get any of the guns from Gunworld, you know, without signing the forms, because I guess all she actually has just now is maybe, you know, a taser and some mace. She could probably take out like 50 guys with that loadout alone though. I think she'll be fine. Oh my god. I don't want to keep repeating myself, and I know we're gonna find out, but wow, what the fuck did she do before she settled down to a normal life?
Jesus, Nadine.
Shame on you. Gator.
What the fuck? Oh my god. She can even in unarmed situations get the better of a guy like that. Is this all just like luck and resourcefulness, or is this actual combat training? Seriously, he has a spiked baseball bat in every role I've seen him in so far. Surely they actually gave him this spiked bat as a nod to Stranger Things.
Where are you, Mama? It's time to go home.
What I think's creepy is, he's referring to her as Mama there, like she's his mum, but I get the feeling they are not blood related at all. Got a feeling this is another booby trap, is it? That wasn't even a booby trap, that was just that guy being an absolute dumbass.
What are you gonna do? What are you, wait!
The husband's like, what the fuck is my wife? And the daughter's like, yes, my mum's the best. Now, when she's shooting there, that didn't seem trained. Now I'm back confused as to her history. Oh, fuck. Now that's a horrible twist I wasn't expecting. Ah, shit. I bet you that was a really high voltage as well. He looks like he's fucking instantly dead.
Mom!
Oh, no. Fuck. That was quick thinking by her though. Ah, fucking hell. Gotta feel bad for the husband. He was a very nice guy caught in a very unfortunate situation.
Mom? Mom!
Surely they've just got to jump off the side into the snow, no?
Wayne, honey. Wayne?
This has kind of gone to shit a bit compared to how I expected her to handle this. Oh, Jesus Christ. This guy's going through it. This guy cannot catch a break.
Grab a stiff. We're done.
Are they retreating now as well? His dad is not going to be happy he failed. Well, you got to applaud Dorothy, even though it all didn't go perfectly to plan. Wow, to fend off 4 people in a home invasion single-handedly is still really impressive. And that's so symbolic, you gotta feel so bad for her. Like I said in my reaction last week, she fought so hard for this normal life. You can tell she fought so hard for it, and she was clinging on to it for dear life with everything she had. And that is just symbolic of that life she's built for herself just going up in smoke, isn't it? I'm gonna say this every single Fargo episode of all time, but that was just unnecessarily perfect painting-like framing of the little farmhouse as the door opened, and the surrounding wood of the door. It was just all absolutely perfectly framed. Can't believe the cinematography in this show.
Old Baylor Mays cut his children to pieces and hung his wife.
What a piece of shit that guy was.
Beelzebub himself. Crouched low.
Why are we now cutting back to Werewolf Man? Is he actually connected to this story, or are they just showing him tell this story while we're getting these images? Okay, so Werewolf Guy went straight to Sheriff's house. Haven't seen him look scared yet. He actually looks a bit scared right now.
Daddy?
Oh shit. Okay, now that is understandably truly terrifying. I'm trying to figure out exactly what went down there though. So, you know, this Welsh werewolf assassin guy is wanting his money back. Okay, so he killed one guy, left the son alive to send a message, but then he goes to the dad's house and leaves a weird symbol on the wall. Is this all because of money? Because that symbol seemed more ritualistic than, you know, just I want my money like the first note.
And the scratches on his face, that was...
Him falling in the bushes.
Yes, these guys have a no comment policy to the police and you have to respect it.
That's what started the fire. Because bad things don't happen to good people.
Tell that to your fucking husband who you rolled off the roof.
Your dad is clumsical. He's tripping over his own left feet.
Well, yeah, accidents happen. Fuck it, when he wakes up telling me he was going up there to heroically change a tile and he fell valiantly replacing it. How the fuck is Dorothy going to actually explain that? Is she just going to deny it's her?
See?
Yeah, that's her all right.
That's not definitive proof it's her though, is it? It looks like her, but I think if you freeze framed it, it would be too bloody to use as evidence.
Come to the aid of a sworn officer. Life-saving actions. Why the heck would you pretend none of it happened?
It's the exact same question I've been asking for these first 4 episodes, funnily enough.
This is Dale Pickney, Debt Collection Services.
Oh, yeah. You know, this really isn't a good time.
I completely forgot about beautiful Lady Cop's husband. We only saw him once. That guy pursuing a golf career, so she's constantly in debt. It's a weird yet really frustrating subplot we've got in this season.
The stress takes a toll on your body. Like that old joke about the hangman. You're at the end of your rope.
The fact we're getting Posh Lady's voiceover while she's going through that is brilliant editing.
They're offering solutions, payment plans, timetables, debt consolidation, intended to give people their dignity back.
You can tell it's taken her years to refine her logic in having to do that in her own head to justify it to herself.
Your son's house is on fire.
Of course.
Well, she took that better than I thought she would.
An opportunity to fix it themselves. We give them that.
She's an interesting character, you know. She is quite unfazed and incredibly professional and resolute regardless of what happens. I'm drifting away from the vampire theory, but I've still got a little 50-50 bet on the vampire thing going on.
Good as new.
You're killing me here. I'm supposed to be making up the sit-down with the Forbes reporter 20 minutes ago.
I don't think Dorothy's going to be able to make her back down this time like she did last time. Her son is in the hospital now and the house is burned down.
This isn't a hotel. You gotta check in at the desk just like everybody else.
She's fired. Get her name?
Fucking hell. Oh my god. The level of entitlement there.
Fire department's there right now, extinguishing the embers.
Bad wiring.
I'm sure they'll do a thorough investigation.
Again, Dorothy just clinging on to this lie. At this point, I think she might as well just do away with it and tell everyone exactly what's going on. I think it would answer a lot of questions. I bet if she told everyone, they'd be like, oh wow, that's completely understandable.
Hey, Mrs. Lyon. It's good to see you again, Mrs. Lyon.
That's not accurate.
Well,
It's making me squirm at this point. She needs to just let go.
We've got our own reality.
you can't... It's not a thing.
Oh, it is. Have you seen the internet in the last 10 years? Everyone has their own reality nowadays.
Our house burned down.
No. And whose fault is that?
Jack Skellington?
Who?
She told no lies. I mean, I didn't think Jack Skellington was that type of guy when I first watched Nightmare Before Christmas, but you know, evidence is there. He's a violent, no good piece of shit.
Who were those fellas and what did they want with you?
I didn't.
It feels like she really does want to tell them all, but she's battled so hard for this new world. It must be heartbreaking for her. I completely understand why she's torn as a character.
How are you?
Hi.
Oh, he's never gonna look at her the same again after seeing what he's seen.
Maybe.
No, that...
Fuck, he heard them call her a real name, didn't he?
Right.
Don't tell me he's gonna just be like this for the rest of the show because of the electric shock. I hope not.
I'm wondering what you remember about what happened.
Yeah, well, he seems to remember your real name.
Someone like that play tricks on your mind. Make you think you did something that maybe you didn't.
I feel so bad for him right now. I literally don't know if he's in a state of shock at finding out that she isn't who she claims she is, or this is just a result of his injury. It genuinely could be either.
Or we'll build a new house. And we'll live just like the fairy tale says.
I really hope Dorothy gets a happy ending. It actually seems like he has had his brain fried by this shock. I really hope that's not the case. We already had that happen to a character in season 3. I forget his name now, but you know the one. But if he never recovers from that, he has been dealt a real bad hand this season. He got lied to, gaslit, electrocuted, thrown off a roof, and now he's just in a lessened mental capacity? Doesn't seem fair.
What we want to do is increase the pressure. Send a message.
1958. The Chinese went to war with the Sparrow.
Is this guy actually gonna go against their requests and back the sheriff?
But you know what happens when you remove birds from a food chain? There's no one left to eat the bugs and the locust.
This is ridiculous logic. So the sheriff in that scenario is the bird and he needs to be kept around to keep the insects and locusts in line. Just because a metaphor sounds good doesn't mean it applicates to the scenario you're discussing.
And who's connected to the most powerful militia in the upper Midwest? What do you think happens next?
Okay, well, that's the real reason he's protected then, isn't it? His connections to this militia, they probably have connections into politics or high-level police.
The second wife. We just got a hit on her fingerprints. Living in Minnesota under a different name. Dorothy Lyon.
Ah, so she was one of the two wives expected dead. Maybe he hasn't killed a single one of his wives then. Maybe they all just run away and change names, he's that bad. Maybe after a while they just get fed up at a fucking roleplay box and they're like, you know what, I'm out of here.
First, so others could not, he killed before he was killed.
What's strange is, when we saw him 500 years ago, he had a Welsh accent, and now his accent sounds like a mixture of Eastern European with a bit of having lived in America mixed in there. But it makes sense, I guess. If you've been alive for 500 years, you're going to travel about a little bit.
Everything they want, they call their own, and if they cannot have it, they say that they are not free.
That was a great little speech to have while cutting to the sheriff, who it perfectly describes.
Why are you here? What do you want?
Oh, so this isn't his mum. So this is just some random woman's house he's went into.
Pancakes.
Yeah, everybody wants pancakes. That's not what she meant. What that guy actually did the last episode is, even if he is a werewolf, fucking bizarre behaviour when you analyse it. Because my man stripped down, went and ritualistically sacrificed a goat, which he then lathered himself in the blood of, started to make seemingly animalistic werewolf noises, and walked towards Sheriff's house just to break in and draw a weird occultist symbol on the wall of his daughter's house, then went home and sat in a bath covered in blood and mud. Granted, we've all had nights like that after a couple of bottles of whiskey, but he was sober.
Nobody asked you to come here.
Ah, this is the guy who threw coffee in the face of the first time we saw him. Was wondering who this guy was for a second.
You're what we call a waste of skin. Defective.
The fact he's back here, I'm assuming he's had information that the guy hasn't stopped hitting the woman.
See, now your beta male thinks that having a firearm makes him an alpha, but it's just lipstick on a pig, you feel me?
You don't know when.
I don't know, man. This guy seems a bit jumpy. I'd be careful.
Face painted like an Apache. Maybe it wasn't a man, some kind of spirit.
Oh, he thinks it was this guy.
Fuck it.
Shit. Lucky that sheriff was a quick draw.
You okay?
You know, that was a self-defense shot as well. I'm not even mad at the sheriff in that scenario. He handled that quite casually. And he didn't push the situation or escalate it. He just genuinely wanted to know if he was the guy who'd broke into his house.
Dad?
The wife doesn't seem that bothered. He's just been shot in the neck, that's for sure.
Don't bother, I can see it all over your face. Worked you over pretty good, did she? Lenore?
Maybe it's just because of what he's had to do right now, or the fact that he's preoccupied with a break-in in his house, but he wasn't that much of a douche to his son about the failed mission.
Killed a state trooper, wounded another one. I responded, shots fired, you were my backup. So, loop's closed.
That's actually quite smart. He's trying to tie this dead state trooper into this situation. Alright, she actually doesn't seem thankful at how he's handled this situation though. She seems terrified. And at the end of the day, this guy has just walked into her house, took the law into his own hands, shot her boyfriend right in front of her, and then forced her to coerce in his story. So I can understand why she'd be like that. I just assumed, of course, because he was abusive, she'd maybe be slightly thankful, but understandably, it's a fucked up scenario, either way you look at it for her. Look at this shit. Seriously, look at this shit. It's a panning crane shot with the sun peeking over the mountains just for the sheriff finishing a conversation with his son. I swear the cinematographer of Fargo would make a chess game look action-packed. Okay, and that was episode 4 of season 5 of Fargo, Insolubilia, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Insolubilia, what did I think of that? Another brilliant episode. Every single episode this season has been great so far. Started where we picked off, which I was thankful about because I'd been waiting to see this all week, and the home invasion kinda basically went how I expected it to. Dorothy managed to successfully defend against all 4 guys, even at moments without a single weapon, and she used all her traps well. The one thing that puzzled me was they were able to get in on the ground floor, and the ground floor seemed fairly trapless, but then her husband tried to exit through one of the upstairs windows, and that had been booby-trapped. What I don't get is you would have thought at that point she would have briefed her family on the things that would and wouldn't have been electrified, for example, and also you would have thought it would have made more sense to put electric shit on the windows of the downstairs windows rather than the upstairs ones, no? Regardless, you have to feel sorry for that husband. That guy had a tough time of things this episode. First of all, hearing someone call his wife by a different name and alluding to the fact she isn't who she claimed to be, then getting electrocuted at the window, then getting rolled off the side of the roof, and now he's woken up and seems like he's gonna just be talking like that from now on. I really hope that's temporary and he becomes his normal self again, but I do know that certain people that take high voltages of electricity like that, it can absolutely frazzle your brain. But I hope he's not another Sai from season 3, because that was heartbreaking enough. Sai was another character who did no wrong and seemingly got a really bad hand dealt to him, and I don't want to see the same thing happen again with this husband who, as I said, had already been lied to, gaslit. He was still there for his wife every step of the way, and then this shit happens to him on top of it. Oh, it's just rough. And Dorothy persists with this lie, even in the face of irrefutable evidence. I mean, let's not get it twisted. There was irrefutable evidence from episode 1, 2 different blood types in her house and shit like that. But now they're pulling up actual CCTV footage and seeing her face on it, and that cop who was there at the gas station that night saying to her face, you know, nice to see you again, Dorothy. The walls are closing in. I can't see her keeping up this charade for much longer, because it's getting to the point where she just seems almost deluded in keeping the liar. Literally everyone else basically in that room with her at that point was like, "You gonna tell us the truth? Tell us the truth." And she's just still sitting there going, no, nothing, no. And how long will that really fly? Surely at some point one of the characters is going to be like, "You are fucking taking the absolute piss. You must think we are absolute idiots. Just tell us, fill us in a little bit on what's going on so we understand what we're up against." And at this point, unless Dorothy's been a fucking child sex trafficker, I'm willing to forgive her for whatever she's gone through in the past. I'm sure she's done whatever she's had to do and change her name, not because she used to be some fucking evil piece of work, but to get away from evil pieces of work. That's the one thing that confuses me about her not wanting to tell other people. You would think that she would only be like that if she herself had done something unforgivable or something she was ashamed of. Perhaps she has, and it's an element that we're not getting shown right now, but the way it seems to me is she's a decent person that's escaped a piece of shit and then doesn't want to tell people that she was a decent person that had to escape a piece of shit. And that is the part that is puzzling me right now. And yeah, the other bit of story we got this episode was Werewolf Guy in his transformation state. I'm still thinking he was a werewolf. We never got to see his face or nothing, but he was making animalistic noises that sounded like they couldn't be created from human vocal cords. So I do think he actually had some sort of transformation we just didn't get to see properly. But yeah, he went through that whole process just to sneak into Sheriff's house and leave a weird symbol on the Sheriff's wall. Again, is all of this because he was not paid for his mission? If so, I don't think the Sheriff got the the message he was attempting to send by going through all that just to do that, because instantly the sheriff thought, who the fuck would have done that, and went to the abusive boyfriend's house. Not mad the sheriff shot him in the neck, by the way. You know, in real life, I do see life and death as far more drastic measures of punishment. Someone has to have done something really horrific for me to be like, yeah, fuck it, kill them. And, you know, a guy that assaults a woman is a piece of shit. I would never hit a woman. Do they deserve to be killed? Probably not. Fuck it. Exile them to a place where everyone has hit a woman and let them, you know, fight amongst themselves until they all die or something. But, you know, don't kill them actively yourself. Point being though, this is fiction. And in fiction, fuck it. That's a piece of shit that I'll happily watch get shot in the neck. It still doesn't conflict me about the sheriff character though. I get it though, you know, I get the point they're trying to prove. Sometimes it is more satisfying to see law applicated by someone's interpretation of it. It feels far more just to take a piece of shit like that and just go, you know what, you're done, life over, you're out of the game of life, you fucked it up for yourself by being horrible, bang, you're gone. It's satisfying, but there is a reason why legal processes are put in place. And the problem is, if you allow a society where your rulers are allowed to interpret the law in their own hands, sooner or later someone will be bringing down the hammer who is not a nice person, and they will interpret the law in horrific ways, and you will regret giving powerful people the option to reinterpret the law as they see fit. Not saying I agree with the law, it's absolutely convoluted, there's a billion fucking laws that need to be thrown away tomorrow, but it's still better than interpretive law, because then it's just a singular human brain making the decision, and God knows that process couldn't be trusted. All in all though, another brilliant episode, and I cannot wait to see what happens next week. This season's been brilliant so far. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog. You get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.